Police stormed Pastor Ezekiel's compound, dragging him to his car. Inside, a sack held his wife's severed head, her eyes frozen in terror. Ezekiel screamed, vomiting, as officers cuffed him. "I didn't do this," he cried, but the crowd jeered. "Monster!" His world collapsed in a single moment. You probably wondering how he got into this mess? Let's dig backward how it all started. In the dusty streets of Ajegunle, Lagos, Pastor Ezekiel knelt in his one-room shack, tears streaming as he prayed for a sign. Orphaned young, he'd toiled as a bus conductor, but a vivid dream of healing the sick ignited his soul. His voice, raw with hope, echoed in the night, promising to serve God faithfully. One dawn, a crippled woman staggered his door, begging for prayer. Ezekiel, trembling, laid hands on her, and she walked. Word spread like wildfire. Soon, crowds gathered, calling him God's chosen. His heart swelled with purpose, but a whisper of doubt lingered. Why him? As he preached under a mango tree, a shadowy figure watched, smiling coldly. Who was this stranger, and what did he want? Ezekiel's miracles multiplied. Blind eyes opened, deaf ears unstopped. Lagos buzzed with his name. His church, now a sprawling sanctuary, drew thousands. Offerings poured in, and his once tattered shirt was replaced with silk robes. Yet his wife Amaka noticed his sleepless nights, his murmurs of, "I'm not worthy." At a crusade, a dying child was healed, and Ezekiel wept publicly, cementing his fame. But backstage, the shadowy man, Mr. Dibia, offered a deal, unimaginable power for a price. Ezekiel refused, but Dibia's words, "You'll beg me soon," haunted him. That night, Amaka found Ezekiel staring at a strange amulet in his study. What was he hiding? Amaka's sudden illness shattered Ezekiel's world. Doctors failed, and her fever raged. Desperate, he sought Dibia, who revealed a ritual requiring a sacrifice of love. Ezekiel, torn, agreed, believing it meant fasting. But Dibia's smirk hinted at something darker. Amaka recovered, but her eyes held fear. The miracles grew grander. Cancer vanished, barren women conceived. Ezekiel's fame reached Abuja, but guilt gnawed at him. Amaka grew distant, whispering of nightmares. One night, Ezekiel found a blood-stained cloth in his car, unmarked but chilling. Was it a warning? As he burned it, Dibia's laughter echoed in his mind. What had he unleashed? Ezekiel's church became a megastructure, but his soul fell hollow. Dibia demanded more, rituals in a forest shrine, chanting over a skull. Ezekiel recoiled but obeyed, addicted to the power. Amaka, sensing evil, confronted him. "You're not my husband anymore," she sobbed, fleeing to her mother's. Alone, Ezekiel performed a miracle televised nationwide, healing a governor's son. Cheers drowned his doubts. But Dibia appeared, whispering, "The final price is near." That night, Amaka called, hysterical, saying she saw Dibia in her dreams, holding her head. Ezekiel raced to her, but her line went dead. Was she safe? Ezekiel found Amaka praying in her mother's house, but her words cut deep. "You sold your soul." He begged forgiveness, but she refused to return. Back home, his assistant, Paul, revealed he'd seen Ezekiel with Dibia at the shrine. "I trusted you," Paul said, quitting in tears. The church began to fracture. Rumors of Ezekiel's strange behavior spread. At a revival, a woman accused him of faking miracles. As the crowd turned hostile, Dibia appeared, calming them with a hypnotic gaze. "You need me," he told Ezekiel later. That night, Ezekiel found a photo in his Bible, Amaka, bound and gagged, who had taken it. Ezekiel, frantic, searched for Amaka, but her mother swore she'd left for Calabar. Dibia denied involvement, but his grin betrayed him. Ezekiel's miracles faltered. A boy he prayed for died. The press pounced, calling him a fraud. His congregation dwindled, and debts mounted. In despair, Ezekiel returned to the shrine, demanding Dibia release Amaka. Instead, Dibia revealed the truth. The sacrifice was Amaka's life. Ezekiel collapsed, sobbing, realizing his ambition had doomed her. As he stumbled home, police lights flashed outside his gate. What had they found? Police stormed Ezekiel's compound, dragging him to his car. Inside, a sack held Amaka's severed head, her eyes frozen in terror. Ezekiel screamed, vomiting, as officers cuffed him. "I didn't do this," he cried, but the crowd jeered. "Monster." His world collapsed in a single moment. At the station, evidence mounted, blood in his house. Witnesses claiming he argued with Amaka. Dibia visited, invisible to others, whispering, "You chose power over love." Ezekiel, broken, saw flashes of their wedding day, Amaka's laughter. Had he truly caused this? A detective hinted at a witness. Who was it? Ezekiel's trial shook Nigeria. The courtroom packed with weeping supporters and furious accusers. Prosecutors presented damning evidence. Amaka's blood on his robes. Witnesses recalling his secretive shrine visits. Ezekiel, hollow-eyed, admitted to the rituals but swore he didn't kill Amaka. The crowd gasped as he described Dibia's dark covenant, but the judge called it a desperate lie. A young journalist, Chioma, believed him, digging into Dibia's occult ties, only to find her editor blocking her story. Why was the truth being buried? In a chilling moment, Amaka's mother testified, sobbing, that Ezekiel confessed to her about a necessary sacrifice. His heart sank. Her betrayal cut deeper than the accusations. As the jury deliberated, Chioma slipped him a note. "Dibia's men are watching me." Ezekiel's hands trembled. Had his pact endangered her too? Outside, a mob chanted for justice, but a shadowy figure lingered, Dibia, smirking. What was his next move? Chioma smuggled a recorder to Ezekiel in prison, urging him to expose Dibia. Broken, he confessed everything. His hunger for power, the rituals, and the night he handed Amaka to Dibia, believing it was just a symbolic act. "I didn't know he'd kill her," he sobbed, tears soaking the cell floor. The recording aired, sparking nationwide horror, but many saw it as proof of his guilt. Protesters clashed outside, some defending his sincerity, others demanding death. Dibia visited that night, invisible guards taunting, "You chose this path." Ezekiel lunged at him, but Dibia vanished, leaving a bloodied scarf, a mockus. The next day, Chioma disappeared, her apartment ransacked. Ezekiel, tormented, saw Amaka's face in his dreams, her eyes pleading. Had his confession sealed Chioma's fate too? The jury's verdict loomed, and a guard whispered, "They're calling for the noose." Was this the end? The courtroom fell silent as the judge sentenced Ezekiel to death by hanging. He stood, trembling, Amaka's memory flooding his mind. Her laughter, her love, now lost his ambition. Supporters wailed, but the evidence was undeniable. Ezekiel's rituals had led to her murder, even if Dibia wielded the knife. As guards led him away, he whispered, "Forgive me, Amaka," tears streaming. Outside, riots erupted, but Dibia was gone, his dark influence untouchable. In his cell, Ezekiel clutched a tattered Bible, praying for redemption. He refused Dibia's final offer of escape, choosing to face his fate. At dawn, the noose awaited, and as the trapdoor opened, he saw Amaka's face, serene, forgiving. Nigeria mourned the fallen pastor, a man undone by his own desires. Chioma's body was found days later, a final casualty of Ezekiel's pact. His story became a cautionary tale, whispered in Lagos churches. Pastor Ezekiel's story is a piercing cry from the heart of humanity. His fall weeps of love lost, trust broken, and dreams twisted by greed. Imagine Amaka's final gaze, her love betrayed, and let it break you. Feel Ezekiel's tears as he faced a noose, yearning for forgiveness he could never fully grasp. This tale begs you to hold your loved ones close, to weigh each choice with care, and to seek redemption before the shadows claim you. May your heart ache for their pain and resolve to live with truth, love, and humility. Let their tragedy guide you to a brighter path. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. What lessons did you learn from this story? Kindly comment your thoughts. Subscribe and hit the bell button for more stories like this.